And we see the Spurs getting ready to go. The Mavericks are looking to defeat their Western Conference rival going into this game. Happy holidays, everyone, from all of us at 2K Sports. And do we have a present for you today? For Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. Welcome to NBA Basketball. Our starting lineups. So look at the matchups here presented by our good friends at State Farm. And guys, what are we going to be looking for in this one from Dirk Nowitzki?
Well, you know Dirk can be an offensive juggernaut pretty much every night, but I don't think he gets enough credit for his defensive presence. He actually moves pretty well for a 7-footer, a decent shot blocker, but covers a lot of ground with his mobility as a big man.
And those things are just part of what makes him special late in games. Not only do you have a guy who has the ability to carry the team on offense, but with Dirk, he can create some extra possessions by clogging up the paint on defense, too.
And it's been home cooking for the Spurs in the midst of a homestand here in San Antonio. Guys, coming into this game, it's been 5 consecutive losses, so confidence obviously will be a key for them tonight.
And Kevin, things really starting to get out of control for them. I mean, this losing streak is becoming an embarrassment, and it's only going to get worse if they don't figure out a way to stop it soon.
Clark, the only thing that can do it, I think, are drastic changes. Either, altering the starting lineup, maybe looking for a trade, but the confidence of their top guys is really gone at this point, and that really spells doom for this club. And that's why you love this guy. I mean, tremendous work on the offensive boards. He just gets you second chance points.
Carter for 3. Tim Duncan with the rebound. Duncan's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
Guys, one of the reasons Dallas did not re-sign Tyson Chandler last year was they wanted to preserve some cap space. And they had Dwight Howard in mind, but Dallas has had to use their cap space elsewhere. But, the key was just developing enough flexibility to give them a lot of different options. And I think that's always a factor for any NBA team.
And here is Parker. O.J. Mayo getting it to go from deep. Parker, that's good.
He got one step ahead of the defense on that one. Excellent job.
Let's send it out to Doris Burke, who caught up with head coach Rick Carlisle. Doris?
With the amount of titles and rings the Spurs have racked up in their careers, Coach admitted it could be a little intimidating playing against them. He said Duncan is an instant Hall of Fame guy, and that can scare teams. We have to be fearless and play just like they are any other team, any other extremely talented team. Easier said than done, guys.
Thank you, Doris. Dallas, to me, Steve, always seems a team very mindful of upcoming free agents and cap space restrictions. One of the reasons why they made the moves last year. Even if, Clark, they don't get a big name, they always seem to be in the mix somewhere.
Well, they're always hovering around, and I think it points to the savvy of the front office there, Kevin. I mean, and that's really what allows teams to be competitive over long periods of time. It's not just about the players you have and their talent, but it's how you acquire players and piece together your team.
They're very forward-thinking, aren't they?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Spurs have gone 6 of 8 in the game so far. A very solid start for them.
And what stands out from that game, Clark, is that they let a lot of points slip through their fingers at the free throw line.
Yep, and I think some doubt started to creep in as well when they kept missing their foul shots. Guys seem to tighten up and start alligator arming those things.
Tony Parker's not a great outside shooter, but he's gotten consistently better over the last few years. He's worked very hard at it, really improving his stroke, his efficiency as a shooter, and it's given him great balance between his inside scoring and everything else that he does for this club.
Here's Parker, following the score by Vince Carter. Puts it up, and again, it's Tony Parker. Parker's got 10 points.
He continues to fill it up. Just one miss in his 6 attempts.
Out to Marion. Lets it fly from 18. And he hits the jump shot. You talked about Tony Parker as an outside shooter, as effective as he's been as a slasher. He hasn't really needed to shoot from outside that often.
Yeah, but as he starts to lose his step, he hasn't yet. I've not seen any indication of it, but it will happen if he continues to play. And he'll have to rely more on that improved jump shot of his. And with his savvy and smart, I don't think it'll be a problem for him to adjust and be effective as he advances in years.
Looking at Dallas, they took that win in their last game against Memphis.
And you know, when you shoot and score like they did in that one, Kevin, it covers up a lot of mistakes that you make in other areas.
And early on, Steve, they got hot as a team, and it pretty much lasted the duration of the game.
You know, Chris Kaman is a skilled 7-footer. I think very underrated as a player. He can rebound, defend, block shots, has some good post ability offensively as well. Ambidextrous around the rim.
And going back to Chris Kaman, it's tough to find good centers in this league, isn't it, Clark? My goodness.
Yeah, it's really hard because big guys either have one or two skills or are lacking in many skills. And Kaman is a well-rounded player. He can block shots. He can score the ball with both hands. He's got a nice touch. He's tough. Those guys that bring his size and skill level are coveted players in this league.
Now here is Carter. Really played well against Memphis in his last outing. Mayo, that's good.
Strong first quarter. He's really made the most of his opportunities.
And San Antonio calls the first time out of the game. And this matchup with the Mavericks, it's the first meeting of the season.
Well, going back to last year for a second, this was one of the few matchups that they didn't get the better end of things. They split the season series.
Out of bounds, Dallas will take possession. And now a look at the teams that have shot the ball the best over the course of the last month. The Mavericks, number one.
They've been playing so smart lately. Just the way they move the ball and they share it, they're always finding good looks.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. Steve, you mentioned the stalemate they played to a year ago. Do you see that happening again this year, Clark?
Kevin, I'm not sure. It's really too early to tell. It wouldn't surprise me, I'd say that much, after what happened last year.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Crowder, he's checked in for Marion. And it's Bobo in for O.J. Mayo.
Boy, is he spit polished offensively. His ability to break down defenses is one of their driving forces.
Parker kicks to Green. Duncan. Back to Green. There's the three. Crowder pulls it in.
Yeah, he's struggled with his shot this quarter, and he's got to find...
Oh, get it!
Yeah, and he's such a clutch player, too. Relishes these big moments with the clock winding down and games up for grabs. That's when he tends to want the ball and create something, and more often than not, deliver.
And let's give him some more credit where more credit is due for his role as a team leader. I mean, he's somebody who brings out the best in his teammates whenever he's on the floor.
Coming up big now. He's made every shot he's taken this quarter.
Bobois dishes to Kaman. Nowitzki outside from past the arc. Second chance shot, and he finishes at the rack.
Textbook offensive rebounding right there. I love that. Those putbacks are buckets any team loves to get.
Green kicks to Splitter. Outside for Jackson. The three is launched, and that is good. Jackson's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three. Here's Carter, blocked. And now it's Green running. He can go all the way. Hammers it home to polish off the break.
It has been all offense here early.
It sure has been. I mean, both teams clicking, and it's been an entertaining game as well, guys.
Pass to Crowder. Three-pointer. Got it off in time, but it's no good. The offense coming free and easy as we wrap up the first quarter. Spurs lead by 5. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter. Spend your... And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Spurs?
And they're really keying in on getting as many good shots inside the lane as possible. They're doing a nice job of not just settling for outside looks.
Yep, I agree. I mean, they're working it inside and doing it with intention and purpose.
They've got Tony Parker. Splitter is out there with Steven Jackson. And it's Duncan. So that's who San Antonio starts the second round.
You know, you don't get to the top of the Western Conference without being a well-lubricated machine, and that's exactly what the Spurs were last year. Extremely efficient in every area, especially their shot selection.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Hi, guys. Well, it's interesting to hear about how Dirk Nowitzki's game has developed in the NBA. He said, when I first came in, I was basically a spot-up shooter. And when people switched the screens, they took my jumper away, and then my game was nothing. So I had to work every offseason on off-the-dribble moves and at least getting comfortable in the post where I can turn over both shoulders. So it's been a piece of work, and I'm going to keep working till it's over. Kevin, he's turned himself into a formidable player.
Thanks, Doris.
Tremendous dedication to the game. It's great to remember just how far he's come.
Here's Parker. Following the score by Vince Carter, it's Parker with the drive. And the Spurs scoring again. And Steve, back to the Spurs, didn't score the most, but they had the best field goal percentage, which is why they won so many games.
Yeah, they were so efficient offensively. The ball just seemed to move on its own at times. I mean, every player is so well conditioned to take care of the ball, to move it on, to find a shooter. And they were so unselfish that they constantly got open looks.
Here is Carter following the bucket by the Spurs. But they'll get another chance. And here's Mayo for three, and that one's good. Mayo's got 8 points.
Well, he can shoot the three. We know that. But I'm not sure the D does. I mean, they weren't anywhere near him on that possession.
Parker drives in. A rebound by Carter.
That's the kind of defense required when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were right in his face.
Well, you know, Tony Parker, ever since he entered the league as a young 19-year-old, has been one of the real speed merchants. I mean, and now in his 30s, you wonder how much longer he'll have those wheels, but so far, no slowing him down to this point.
Here's Carter. Cannot hit. Spurs have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter.
That was a hole punch jam there, Kevin.
Oh, nice finish.
Yeah, you got to love the way he just capped off that strong move.
Mayo kicks to Mary. Stolen by Jackson. And here we go. Parker heading to the hoop. And that one's good. Now it's a 4-point Spurs lead.
This is a very steady performance offensively for him.
And penetration, really the foundation of Tony Parker's offensive game. A lot of blow-bys in there, Steve. He has a great knack of finding room and making it work once he gets in the lane.
Yeah, unbelievably fast. And he's got that floating leaner that's so difficult to block in the paint. So to me, that's the key to his offensive game. He can get past you, then he can score in a variety of ways in the paint.
Here's Mayo following the score by Tony Parker. Jones kicks to Nowitzki. Over Splitter, and there's Dirk Nowitzki on the assist by Jones. 9 points for Nowitzki. Outside, Green. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Parker with it. Now Mayo defending. And the call will be against O.J. Mayo. That is his first foul of the game. Boris Diaz checked in for the Spurs. And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Here's Parker. Good. Parker's got 8 points in the quarter.
Well, that was a nice start. After having a good first quarter, he's showing us more of the same here.
Mayo the pass to King. Parker with the steal. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Parker's running. And it's slammed in by Diaz.
That's turning good defense into quick offense, Clark.
And that's the way to operate. Get up the court quickly. Don't waste any time. Whenever you have a chance to go fast. Well, the defense not doing a good job at all of getting after him. They've got to crowd him and make it tough for him. That's his second this quarter.
And the Southwest Division was just an extremely tough one the last couple of years. And last year, no different. I mean, the Spurs played their counterparts pretty tough, though, and they had a good showing for in-division games. Well, it didn't take long to get those 3 points back.
Nope, an immediate answer right there. Right back at you.
And while we can, let's find out a little bit about the shooting guards around the league and which of them have had the most assists over the last 10 games. O.J. Mayo is second.
That list of players just goes to show that great passing doesn't just come from the point. And the way these guys distribute the ball from the 2 spot is really a thing of beauty.
And Steve, if you want to take your place among the great shooting guards in the NBA, you have to be able to do more than score. You got to pass it as well. And a lot of these guys can.
And even in that tough Southwest, the Spurs, Clark, just, took it to the competition. Whether they win like 12 of 16 interdivision matches.
Yeah, and that was the best mark by any team in the West within the division, Kevin. A lot of tough teams with them, and it shows you the kind of season they had to run away with the division like that.
Elton Brand's checked in for Dallas. Carter comes in for Dante Jones. Now Mills. Carter's missing on the three. Now the dish to Mills. For the three, Sean Marion grabs the miss. Marion's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Nowitzki's shot's good.
Not many guys with his size can shoot the ball that well from out there.
Spurs leading by 7. 46 seconds left in the first half of the game. DeColo defended by Carter. Lets it go from 11. The shot will not go. And it's Dallas the other way. With the lead pass, Nowitzki. Shot's good. And now it's only a 5-point Spurs lead.
I think he's done his part to try to keep him in this game. It's been a solid effort from him, guys.
That's good. Green's got 10 points.
He's found a rhythm here in this second quarter, guys. He looks good.
Mayo, that's good.
Tell you what, he's draining the 3 ball at will, guys.
Yeah, he is, and they've got to find a way to get out there on him.
Here's Duncan, and that's collected by Nowitzki.
That's a look that he'll never pass up, the one he'll usually never miss.
Carter for 3, cannot hit. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. It's the Spurs leading by 4. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Welcome to the 2K Sports Studios. Such great rivalry going on tonight. Let's check out how the first half has gone. San Antonio on top against Dallas. They've been having their way inside. A huge lead when it comes to points in the paint, making it very hard to defend against them. Tony Parker having himself a big-time game. Seems like everything's falling for him. Not sure if he even knows how to miss. And on the other side, Dallas just keeps on scrapping. They've played themselves right to the bubble, sitting in 8th place in the conference standings.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball.
What a game for Tony Parker. He has 18 points, and what a game he's had passing the ball, too.
Yeah, to watch him spread the ball around, get everybody involved, is a thing of beauty.
Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up for the second half. On the court for the Mavericks, Sean Marion and Dirk Nowitzki, both excellent players at the forward spots. Mayo out there with Carter, and it's Kaman in at the 5 spot. Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Well, guys, the San Antonio Spurs truly are the model franchise in the NBA. They acquired their star caliber players in Duncan, Ginobili, and Tony Parker back at the turn of the century and haven't looked back, doing a terrific job of adding role players to fit in around them. Popovich jokingly explained the secret. I like role players who aren't very good but have a skill. I know who's going to have the ball on our team, and I need players who understand this. Kevin, it's worked well for them so far.
Well, that's the great thing about having star talent for us. The role players can stick to their strengths. And it's slammed in by Splitter.
Man, offensive execution has been the story here, just playing beautiful basketball.
And, guys, you can see it in their advantage in field goal percentage. I mean, you get high-quality shots, you're usually going to shoot well. They're playing outstanding basketball.
And you have to give the ownership a lot of credit for the Mavs' success over the years, guys. A lot of people may not agree with the things he has to say, but you can't argue with the success that he's had. He's spent his money, his resources. He's put a ton of passion and energy into building that franchise, and it's developed into one of the best in the entire league.
San Antonio calls timeout. You talk about passionate ownership on the sideline, actively involved in crafting the roster and the fan experience. You don't get much better than Dallas. From the top all the way down, it's all about winning and not afraid to push for what's best for the NBA.
And I think he wants the best for his players, too. And that's why, as a player, you've got to love, admire, and respect that. You know that he wants to win just as much as you do. And it's easy to go the extra mile and commit to a team where that's the case coming from ownership.
Carter with the three. Gets it to go. Carter's got 12 points in the game.
They're not going to run that play very often. But, hey, they'll take it. Way to notch that three.
Nowitzki with the steal. And here we go. The Mavericks on a fast break. Good on the shot. 14 points for Vince Carter.
Well, for him, that finger roll is almost second nature. That's a tough shot for most players.
Well, O.J. Mayo stepping into the instant offense off the bench role for the Grizzlies last season, and it seemed to suit him quite well. I mean, a guy who can heat it up like that can hurt you from outside, and certainly a valuable part of their rotation, a guy that they counted on to produce points, and he did.
And a quick look now at the best free throw shooting team. Fifth, the Mavericks.
You don't want to send this team to the line. They've been solid all season. And coaches have to ask themselves, is it worth it to foul these guys? They're excellent from the stripe. As a team, not just a couple of guys, their whole team makes foul shots.
And you've got to give O.J. Mayo a lot of credit, Steve, accepting that bench role, not being a malcontent, and being a good team guy.
Yeah, former number 3 overall pick in the draft, but he showed that he's all about winning by accepting that role. And I think that's more important to teams than, seeing whether a guy will start or not. Will he accept his role and will he finish games? And that's what Mayo did.
Dante Jones, he's checked in for Dallas. Spurs leading by 4. Here's Parker. The Mavericks pull it in. Marion's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Nowitzki for 3. Another 3 for Dallas.
Fellas, they are heating up from outside now.
Yeah, of their last 5 hoops, 3 of them have come from long range.
Parker kicks to Splitter. Dishes to Duncan. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. And the basket by Jackson.
Yeah, we're now starting to see them get some high percentage shots in the paint.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 buckets inside the lane, so they're getting really high percentage looks down there.
That's good. 9 points for Marion.
Well, what can we say about Greg Popovich, guys? 16 years as an NBA head coach, all with the Spurs. He's the longest tenured of any current coach in any of the 4 major sports in North America and has had sustained success throughout that run. Absolutely remarkable stuff.
Now, he took advantage of that mismatch size-wise, went right up with it.
Yeah, he loves those mid-range jumpers.
So both teams making some changes here. And here's Mayo for 3. No luck. Good D by Parker.
And when you talk about the long tenure of Greg Popovich, going back to Clark's comment, he's had so much success during that time. Look at the numbers. 5th all-time in winning percentage, 3rd all-time in playoff victories, and, of course, the 4 NBA championships. You may want to start spreading the ball around a little bit. His shot is off right now.
The Spurs making a switch here. Wheels check in. Parker against Carter. Parker off the pick from Duncan. Parker dishes to Duncan. Green for 3. Neal's shot is off.
Boy, in the film session, they'll say that was a well-challenged shot. You know, a good way to get to the top of the Western Conference is to have the most wins when playing other Western teams. The Spurs did that with a great mark on the year.
Kicks the bottom. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got 9 assists now tonight. And 1:01 left in the 3rd. Feeds it to Nowitzki for the lead. San Antonio with the rebound. They've led by as much as 10. We always hear about how tough and brutal the West can be, Steve, but the Spurs made it look so easy with how they handled their conference games.
Yeah, it was really shocking, Kevin. I mean, everyone knew the Spurs would be good, but not that good. They went 35-13 against other Western teams. And that winning percentage interconference is really what allowed them to get that number 1 seed going into the playoffs. Mayo
against Parker. Here's Duncan. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Duncan's got 12 points in the game.
This game very well could come down to a few possessions, and if that's the case, rebounding could play large.
Yeah, in a close game like this one, securing the ball is so vital. Now running a little bit of time off. Looks like they're going to play for the final shot.
Steve, you're right. If nothing presents itself, hold for one.
And there's the rejection. Carter with the three. And it's Carter again missing. And offensively, a great show for the fans through the first 3 quarters. It's been a fun game to watch. Spurs lead by 4. And when we return, we'll get the 4th quarter rolling right here on 2K. Quarter getting going here. It's time for the Sprite Uncontainable Game. Doris Burke at the report. Hi, Doris.
And Kevin, for that great stretch the Spurs put together, they get the Uncontainable Game Award. Things really opened up for them in the second period, and they were able to strike while the iron was hot. Very strong effort from the whole team this game.
All right, Doris, thanks. And the run Doris mentioned, guys, that was really a huge game changer here.
No question, Kevin. Probably the pivotal moment in the game so far, and I thought that really set the tone.
You know, one of the things that was interesting to me is you could see the body language of both teams change at that point. Obviously in different directions. Confident and assured on one side and a bit of chin in your chest on the other side.
Boris Diaw is out there with Duncan. Then there's Ginobili. Then it's Mills, and that's who's in the game for the Spurs. 3-on-3. DeColo passes it to Mills from outside the arc. And the dunk by Duncan.
Simply said, a tremendous rebound and a tremendous dunk. He squared.
He was a man possessed right there, Clark.
Yep. That's the kind of energy that you always get from him night after night.
Mail kicks to Cunningham. Fires the three, and that one's good.
Another three goes down, guys.
Yeah, you got to get up into them defensively. I mean, you got to put pressure on guys and make them put the ball on the floor.
That's going to be over and back, not watching for the line that time. And a quick look now at how San Antonio's schedule is shaping up. They'll be playing host to Toronto for the next one. And that's the 3rd of 4 straight played at home.
And keep an eye on that Mavericks score. That's a great matchup there.
And we've played through about a minute here in the 4th. Mail kicks to Cunningham. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back. The Spurs have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Duncan with a screen on Jones. Ginobili bats for 2. He kicks it to Diaw. Mills. The open shot by Duncan. It's rebounded by Dallas. Brand's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Here's Cunningham. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dirk Nowitzki. And it's all knotted up.
And this continues to be a shootout.
Well, I'm a fan as well as a commentator, and I love this fast-paced action. I mean, it's going back and forth, back and forth.
And some changes here for the Spurs. Splitters checked in for Diaw. Jackson comes in for Manu Ginobili. And Tony Parker subbed in for Patrick Mills. Dallas also making some changes. Marion comes in for Dante Jones. And it's Carter in for Cunningham. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich coaching his team during that last break. He told them, this is it, fellas. Let's hit them right out of this timeout. Put some pressure on them. Show them how much you want it. Let's go get it. Guys, he's really exhorting them to give them a burst of energy.
Carter hits them both.
You typically get a bit of a grace period as an organization after you win an NBA title. But I can imagine the Mavs would have liked to have done better against the Thunder in last year's playoffs.
Yeah, getting swept did not taste good. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. The Mavericks have gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the 4th. And that one's good. The Mavericks shooting has been just great so far, up at 56%. Clark, as you mentioned with the Mavs, no team likes to go one and done in the postseason, and that's exactly what happened to them, especially when you know some of your stars are aging. And they've got some age here right now.
Yeah, but they've got some house money to play with, Kevin, because of that championship the season before. But Dallas is now in a transition phase. They knew their stars were getting older, so they had a pretty good draft this past summer. And now it's a time to move forward to the next era of Mavs basketball.
Parker with it. Sean Marion covering. Nowitzki with the steal. Carter outside. Back to Nowitzki. Over Duncan. Nowitzki, no good.
Another board, just continuing to add to that big rebound margin.
And it's a bit ironic, guys. I mean, you would think the score wouldn't be so close the way they're dominating the glass. But this one is still in the balance.
Jackson passes to Parker. 6 on the shot clock. Sean Marion grabs the miss. Marion's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Brand dishes to Carter. He feeds it to Nowitzki. Back to Carter. Lets it go with the 3. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Nowitzki. Nowitzki's got 4 assists now tonight. And there's the feed to Parker. From down in the low post, it goes. Parker's got 4 points this quarter. Game winding down, and they just keep changing leads.
Absolutely. I mean, 6 lead changes here so far.
Steve, exciting stuff.
Yeah, this is a fun game to watch. Which team can kind of extend a lead and make a couple of big plays here to try to seize momentum? We'll see.
Spurs making a switch here. Green's checked in. The Mavericks also with the sub. Kaman's checked in. Mayo, that's good.
Well, there's not a whole lot you can do when a team gets this hot from three-point land.
All you can really do is hope that they cool off. I mean, the way it's going for them in the second half here, I don't see any sign of that happening.
We've got 1:48 left in the 4th quarter. Green with the ball. And it's Carter picking him up. It's Parker with the drop. Rejected by Nowitzki. And, oh, here we go. Carter's got it in the fast break chance. 16 feet away. The shot by Marion, no good. San Antonio trailing here. They're running out of time. And the foul on Chris Kaman. That's his first foul. Open shot by Duncan. Makes no mistake on the open jump shot.
That jump shot's like a layup for him when the defense backs off like that.
Here's Mayo. Nowitzki outside. The 3 ball. Can't hit. And the Spurs going the other way now. They've led by as much as 10. Green. And that's collected by Nowitzki. Mavericks have gone 5 of 11 from the field in the 4th quarter. Outside, Carter connects from downtown.
Boy, what a huge shot there.
How about what a game? I mean, he answered the bell with that one.
Into Tim Duncan. Connects. And that shot brings them to within just 1.
Everything is working for him right now. He's been a huge factor in the quarter.
Clark, a big-time possession here.
Tell you what, their hearts have to be racing right now.
Back to Jackson. Duncan with a screen for Jackson. And there's the pass to Duncan. He dishes it to Parker. Puts the lead pass in front of them.
You know, they've got a foul to give here if they need it.
Well, definitely something to keep in mind for them right now. They can be very aggressive.
There's 21 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Mayo kicks to Carter. Beyond the arc. Count it!
Big bucket. They've got to play for a stop here with the 2-point lead. No open 3.
Jackson against Marion. Jackson drives in. Over Kaman. Ooh, offline.
He's not necessarily a strong inside presence, but he needs to polish those chances off.
Yeah, no question, the right call at this point. You can't let them just dribble it out.
That's right. I mean, you've got to send them to the line and hope for a few misses.
hits the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 4-point ball game.
Yeah, big time free throws there. You can put this one in the books.
Here's Parker. Misses. So it's a narrow victory for the Mavericks, pulling out the W. Clark, it was anybody's game right to the very end.
Yeah, it was. The coach is happy with the outcome, but maybe not so much with the margin.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not